Él no puede hacer esto, güey. No mames. Ya me hartó este hijo de la chingada. No mames.
Adiós, Albedo. ¿Para qué sirve? Bueno, no hay ningún bot. ¿What? ¡Ay, cabrón! ¡No! Saludos chicos, chicas, sean bienvenidos a un nuevo stream del Genshin Impact. Historia del Genshin Impact. Misión legendaria de Dehya. Personaje que le estoy agarrando un odio que no se imaginan. O sea, es como una relación amor-odio, una relación tóxica. Bueno, me callo. Pasaron cositas el día de ayer, después de que finalicé el stream. Ahorita les cuento qué fue lo que pasó. Vamos a irnos a Twitter. Es que quiero empezar rápido porque tengo cosas que hacer. Quiero decir, misiones diarias. Y creo que lo del tema de... el tema de la resina lo voy a acumular para el día de mañana. Porque mañana voy a tener que... pues... farmear. Por algo que ya les voy a comentar. A ver, voy a poner la pantalla. ¿Dónde está? Aquí está. Está aquí. Vamos a poner la pantalla del escritorio. Porque aquí está lo de... Lo que hice el día de ayer. Básicamente, ayer tiré una multi por 10. Y si se acuerdan que yo decía que Dehya podría yo verla con esta espada, ¿no? Con la espada del sacrificio. Con el mandoble del sacrificio. Pues resulta que en una multi por 10 me vino a salir una de estas. Al siguiente otra de estas. Y después pues ya esta de aquí, ¿no? El arco, el nuevo. Que por cierto, aquí lo ven que dicen nuevo, ¿no? Aquí ven que dice nuevo. Y estas dos que me faltaban ya las tenía R5. Quiero darles un spoiler. Esta arma la tengo ya R5. Y creo que ya tengo dos para completar dos R5 de esta del sacrificio. ¿Cómo es que conseguí esta arma nueva, entre comillas nueva para mi cuenta, R5? Háganse la idea. O sea, focalícense. Y es que no tienes que también imaginarte por qué o cómo es que me salió R5 esa tontería. Ahorita les paso la razón. Está aquí. Está aquí. Aquí. Y acá. Ya, aguántame un ratito que andan llamando. Deme un momento. Por cierto, acabo de acordarme que al Sergio le tengo que regresar sus puntos. A ver. Tengo aquí ya la muestra de esta tontería. ¿Esto está emitiéndose en YouTube? Sí, está emitiéndose en YouTube. Una disculpa por su momento suspense. ¿Qué fue lo que pasó? ¿Por qué incluso tengo R5, el arco ese que era nuevo en mi cuenta? Y pues ahí en la captura lo vean que es nuevo, ¿no? Pues venga. Escritorio. Esto fue lo que me salió después de 50 tiros, 60 tiros. Es mi cuenta, ¿eh? Acá abajo tienen la captura. Digo, el número de la cuenta, pues. El UID. La púa. Demonios. No obstante con eso, yo dije, a ver. Ya tengo asegurada alguna de las dos, que es del banner de armas, ¿no? Seguí tirando en 50 o en 60. Salió esto. Y me desesperé. Porque ya tenía incluso las dos cargas de la senda divina. ¿Cómo se llama esa? La senda de Tectone, vamos. La senda esa, pendeja. Y pues esos 50 deseos tuve que transformarlos en 70, 80 con las protogemas guardadas en los dominios, que me daban 50 cada dominio, y estos deseos de acá, de estas chapas de acá que se convirtieron en deseos luego. Y pues sí, saqué el mandoble de Dehya. ¿A qué costo? Pues todo. Dejé todo. Mi cuenta está en blanco ahorita. Quiero decir, no hay ningún deseo salvo los dos deseos que me dieron por esto de aquí, por lo del brillo estelar sin dueño. Estos 10 brillos estelar sin dueño los convertí en 2 deseos. Para no gastarlos luego en armas, que luego sí lo gasto en armas de la tienda de Paymon. Y solamente tengo 2 deseos. De los 100 y pico deseos que tenía, ya se imaginarán, gasté para este banner de armas y tengo dos acumulaciones en senda de vida y todavía me sobraban 50 deseos. Se imaginarán ustedes ya cuántos deseos gasté. Dios mío, es un dolor de cabeza. Este banner es un dolor de cabeza. Pero ¿saben por qué yo tiré en este banner de armas? Mi razón principal, y por esto es que me desesperé o me calenté, cualquiera de las dos, es porque esta arma nunca más la volveremos a ver. A no ser que digan, Dehya nuevamente va a salir en el promocional siendo del permanente. Ahí en ese momento veremos esta arma. Pero díganme una cosa. Ketchin, que salió en el promocional, ¿volvió a salir después de la 1.3 en el promocional? No, ¿verdad? Yo tengo el deseo de que cierren Genshin Impact. ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué? Digo, si yo solamente disfruto de la historia, a mí no me pueden hacer ni madre. Quiero decir, no me pueden criticar ni madre. Hay otros extremistas, claro, que hacen otro tipo de cosas. Pero eso. Este fue el accidente del día de ayer. ¿Accidente? ¿Eso es un accidente? Me duele. Pero venga. Como les decía, tenía cosas que hacer. Como las diarias. Que esas las hago rápido, pero bueno, son cosas que tengo que hacer y cosas que consumen tiempo en el streaming. Vamos a cambiar la escena y... Cállate, música. ¿Dónde está? Aquí está. Y estoy aquí en el menú principal. Porque estoy seguro... Que por cierto, bienvenido, Bobin. El Bobin, el Yuki Plus. Dios mío, Bobin. Me hiciste reír con ese comentario, la neta. Pero venga. Hago las diarias rápido y ahorita voy con la historia. La resina no, porque ya les digo, el día de mañana voy a consumir todo lo que sea de resina. Porque, hey, arma nueva significa que vas a ocupar materiales para subirle de nivel.
Hey, doesn't Mondstadt celebrate the Windbloom Festival around this time of year? Paimon has lots of good memories from the last one. The sweet scent of flowers on the breeze, the sweet smell of tasty snacks on the breeze, the feeling of the breeze on your face? The only downside was the lack of commissions. But Paimon's sure that was just a one-time thing. There's gotta be someone who needs our help, right? Let's go see how things are this year.
Como iba diciendo, me mantuve en el menú principal porque sabía que iba a aparecer esos diálogos. Que probablemente los repita cuando me meta a la historia del evento. Y lo de la resina, ahorita vamos con las misiones diarias. Para subir un arma se necesitan materiales. Y esos materiales, si no los has farmeado, pues tienes que farmearlos. Es ahí donde entra la resina. ¿Dónde está la...? Aquí está. Es ahí donde entra la resina. Pero hoy día no lo puedo farmear. Es el día de mañana. Además, recuerden que me salió la púa. No es broma, esta es mi cuenta. Me salió la púa, el báculo de las arenas y las de tu mamá. Y el mandoble de Dehya. Fíjense que están a nivel 70 porque ya no me alcanzó los materiales. Y este está a nivel 60 porque ya no me alcanzó los materiales. Tengo que farmear y eso justamente es el día de mañana. Prioridad del mandoble. Luego si ya me sobra la resina, igual manera tengo ahí un montón de resina acumulada, así que podría subirla sin problema. ¿De acuerdo? Aparte, oh mira qué rápido. No estoy muteado, ¿verdad? No estoy muteado. Desde... Esto siempre lo repito, desde que un día... me pasó lo de... estar media hora de stream muteado. Siempre tengo que estar revisando. ¿Estoy muteado o no estoy muteado? ¿Estoy muteado o estoy muteado? ¿Me perdón? Un clásico, hombre. ¿Qué es un adri? Entiendo. Son guerreros de barro. Son adornos como especie de adornos de barro. De cerámica o qué sé yo. A ver, vamos a hacer un breve chequeo. Acá. Esta zona de aquí. Vámonos de aquí. Este dominio al que me acabo de teletransportar es uno de esos que tienen 40 protogemas. Realmente adentro hay un cofre de 10 protogemas, así que me dan 50. Pero esto es lo que les digo, mi banco de protogemas. Este de aquí no lo he hecho, por ejemplo. Porque ya me alcanzó con lo que farmeé en los otros dominios. Pero básicamente de ahí también saqué protogemas para el arma. Y literal estoy en 0. 0 protogemas, 0 deseos. Los 2 deseos estos fueron los que me dio la propia arma. Pero neta, qué coraje que no... ¡Ey! Lo hubiese aplicado la 13-14. Pero quería ir a la segura. Porque a diferencia del banner anterior de armas, que era Homa y el arco de Yelan, las dos eran súper útiles y me servían. Cualquiera de las dos. Pero en este caso la que quería era el arma para Dehya. El báculo de las sombras escarlata igual me servía. Pero no tengo ni el personaje, ni creo que lo vaya a utilizar. Por eso es que... Shit. Preguntona. ¿Qué build tiene Dehya? Oh. ¿Qué build le pongo a Dehya? Oh. La. Vamos. Ah. No espanten. Es que cuando le suba el arma ya... Sube también la cantidad de probabilidad crítico que tiene que
Stay
dar.
close.
Aunque no es mucho, ¿no? Le faltan 10%.
No going off on your own.
O un 9%. Wait. 9%. Nah, sí le da para 60. Ya con 60 de probabilidad de críticos, yo ya estoy feliz. Soy un tarado, ¿verdad? Me bajé del teleporter para volver a subir. ¿Qué dónde? Para ir nuevamente abajo. Venga, madre. Ajá. Oye, ¿y eso? ¿Puedo hacer 2 diarias a la vez? A ver. Vamos a hacer 2 diarias a la vez.
Be still.
¿Cómo que desafío fallido? No puedo hacer 2 diarias a la vez.
Cascade.
Venga tu madre, oye a ver. Sale. No me dejan ser feliz. Otra cosa de por qué me fascina el Genshin, aparte de la historia, es la música, hombre. Está bien, no jueguen el Genshin, pero la música. Es como la otra vez, estaba hablando con unos compas y uno decía, no, pues a mí no me gusta el Donkey Kong Country, pero sí que le encantaba tararear la de King K. Rool. No me acuerdo cómo se llama la música, pero es el tema de King K. Rool. Bro, es que el Donkey Kong Country también tiene lo suyo en música, ¿eh? Poca broma. Bueno, vamos allá.
Add Astro.
Cate,
Thank you for coming.
Cate,
Add Astro.
cállate. Bennett. A ver. Listo. Tenemos correo. Kiki. Listo. Comunidad. Comunidad. Comunidad oficial de Genshin Impact. Es raro. Eventos especiales. ¿Eh? Por si acaso lo que acaban de escuchar acá. Ignora fucking dice. Ya me imaginaba. Pero está mal sincronizado. ¿Saben? Y esto es un resubido, que es lo peor. A ver, dice... Plataforma de interacción Baladas del Viento. Entrega composiciones musicales, toca nuevas canciones, interactúa y disfruta de buena música con otros viajeros. ¿Eh? Han hecho una especie de foro con relación al evento este de la música, ¿verdad? ¿Por qué está esta porquería aquí? Ya. ¿Por qué está eso ahí? Instrumental. Recomendaciones populares. Evento de Flores del Viento. Las entregas, ¿qué? Ok. ¿Entregas de qué? Administración de entregas. Todas por entregar en revista. ¡Anda! Son como... las músicas que tú has compuesto, ¿no? No, bueno, las composiciones de las músicas estas. Mira, se autorreproduce esto. Qué chafa. Entregar. Danza de la marea, meditación. Esto es precisamente... Espera. What? Esto. ¿En serio son videos? Son músicas, o sea, son bitmaps compuestos por la gente. Sí, tiene pinta. Está muy bonito, ¿eh? A ver, esto no es, esta función estaba, esto del código y la tontería, pero no estaba una página como tal. No estaba una página que exponga así los códigos. Esto lo hace bastante como tipo OSU, pero sin descargarte el coso, sino que tienes que copiar el enlace. Esto es con el código, ¿no? Sí. Otra cosa que Genshin. Copia de Warframe. ¿En serio esto tiene el Warframe? O sea, tipo musical. ¿O te refieres a la página? ¡Ah, no mames! Nunca supe de esa vaina. Vaya. ¿Cómo que Vlad del pasado? Quítate tú. Ya soy el Vlad del presente. Bueno, esto lo jugaré cuando esté haciendo el evento. Y probablemente fuera de stream, porque la neta, lo que me interesa son las historias, más no el evento como tal. No entiendo por qué justo se puso en el centro, pero ok. Vámonos con las historias. Con la historia, mejor dicho. ¿Dónde está la historia? No. Misiones legendarias. Ahí está. Recógeme esto. Y vamos. Regresa a la interfaz de misiones, ok. Sangre de la leona, Mantichora. Acto 1. Sombras que se ciernen sobre un sedoso coso. Hey, cámbiame el equipo. Ahí estamos.
Paimon's trying to remember. What else did we put on our shopping list? Oh, what a mouth-watering smell. Paimon would know the aroma of biryani anywhere. Let's go get some.
No me suena que eso estuviera en la lista de compra.
We can still add it to the list.
Well, if it isn't the traveler and Paimon. Wasn't expecting to see you here.
Mira, Dehya.
Hello there. Oh, it's been quite a while.
So you two are still hanging out together. Dehya, didn't you say last time that you were gonna head back to the desert?
I said I was going to resign from being her bodyguard, not that our friendship was over. We're still the best of friends.
Estaba leyendo, bueno, informándome sobre Dehya y toda esta tontería. Y en un apartado aparece Dehya, o sea, el NPC que tiene aquí al lado. Y Dehya parece estar inspirada en una princesa persa de un libro donde la princesa se llama Dehya o algo así. No me acuerdo muy bien. Lo leí así a lo rápido. Y yo dije, mira, qué interesante. Por eso se llama Dehya y por eso es del desierto, ¿no? Porque Persia. Ahora me salen con que están inspirados en Príncipe de Persia los niveles, ¿no? Y de hecho sí lo dije en algún momento. Que las tonterías de las pirámides en el desierto, en el mero desierto, sí parecían como este gameplay de los Príncipes de Persia. De los de Play. No el antiguito.
The Homayanis also still post jobs from time to time.
Play 2 para ser
He's
específico.
always generous, so me and the other mercs never pass them up.
I told Dehya to just stay at our place when she took one of those jobs a few days ago. My parents were delighted. They even said that it always felt like we were missing someone whenever Dehya wasn't around.
That sounds like something they would say, all right. They're always so welcoming. Anyway, the job is already taken care of, so I was gonna head back to the brigade as soon as I finished a little shopping. But the master kept insisting, and I ended up staying for another day.
You can stay for as many days as you want, Dehya. Father hasn't even gotten around to treating you to his best dishes yet.
You know I'm not the kind of person to stay put in one place like that, my lady. Don't worry, though. There'll always be next time.
But she said they'll treat you to the best dishes. Paimon can't believe you can still refuse that.
But wait. Didn't you say last time that you would take me on a trip to the desert? Why don't you just take me with you today when you leave?
De hecho, eso se pasó en un
There's
evento
so many
web.
places I still haven't visited yet.
I'm sorry, my lady, but no can do. There's still a few things I need to take care of back at the brigade. Besides, the desert hasn't exactly been the most peaceful place lately.
Oh, come on. Not this again. That's also what you said last time and the time before that.
I know, I'm sorry. Just give me some more time, and I promise I'll plan the best trip ever for you.
All right, fine. To be perfectly honest, it's not that I wanted to go, it's more like I feel like something is off about you lately. Ever since you first set foot on the estate a few days ago, you've been acting anxious and even paranoid. Have you been delaying our trip because you've run into some kind of trouble?
Nah, are you kidding? You're worrying too much.
Would you swear on that? Friends shouldn't lie to each other, you know. I wouldn't pry any further if you're willing to swear on what you just said. But if something really is bothering you, then just tell me. You know I'll help you however I can.
Oh, looks like Junior's was onto something.
You're too perceptive, my lady. Seems I can't hide anything from you. I just thought that nothing good could come out of telling you about the messy happenings of mercenaries. Knowing too much only leads to more trouble. Mercenary life is a dog-eat-dog world where Mora reigns supreme. Everything operates on a completely different set of rules.
That doesn't change anything about what I just said, though. We're still friends, and I can only support you if I understand what's bothering you.
My lady, you're not gonna stop until you drag it out of me, are ya? All right, I'll share what I know. Let's go somewhere else first. This isn't exactly the best place for a discussion. Okay, let's talk here. Just try not to draw any extra attention. As you may already know, the Eremites have both a lot of mercenaries and a complex organizational structure. Many mercs are no different than me, just going around looking for jobs to earn some more. My brigade is called the Blazing Beasts. We're not a large group, but every member is loyal and brave.
Dice el Bobín, esas voces. Más o menos era lo que me pasaba al inicio del juego. Porque yo lo tenía en japonés anterior. Bueno, primero en inglés, luego no me gustó las voces, lo cambié a japonés porque sabía que se podía cambiar. Pero pasa algo con este juego y es que tiene mucho diálogo, mucho texto. Y hay algunas ciertas situaciones en donde los NPCs hablan, pero no hay subtítulos. Entonces yo dije, voy a probar el inglés para pues entender mientras estoy haciendo otra cosa, bebiendo algo, comiendo algo. De hecho, ahorita estaba comiendo. Me permitió comer mientras estaba escuchando, mientras no prestaba atención a la pantalla. Esa es mi razón principal por la que llevo el inglés. Además de por la costumbre, claro. Porque puedo entender lo que dicen los personajes. Siempre he puesto en prioridad entender lo de la historia porque estoy bastante enganchado con la historia. Si me dicen que los personajes van a ser nerfeados o que no hago desafíos de batalla, sino que me quedo por la historia. Algo más o menos me pasa con el Tower of Fantasy. Ya el Tower of Fantasy yo lo estoy dejando ya medio morir, pero por la historia estoy todavía ahí. No sé, yo soy el devoralibros, básicamente.
However, not all Eremite brigades are like mine. Some are willing to cross all kinds of lines for the sake of Mora.
Mi razón principal por dejarlo en inglés es por entender.
Deshret's relics? Judging from the name, they must really look up to...
¿Alhamar?
Yep, you got it. I've heard that you've already crossed paths with Ain al-Akmar. They're one of the groups under the Relic's banner.
Oh, you mean the group that tried to sell us the Divine Knowledge Capsule? Yeah, they weren't friendly at all.
Deshret's Relics is composed of many smaller brigades like Ain al-Akmar. The Relic's headquarters issues orders to all brigades under his control. On any other day, I would want nothing to do with them. Unfortunately, though, the brigade that's stirring up trouble now is none other than Dekan al-Akmar.
Dekan?
I think it means beard or something. Believe me, it's a really stupid name. I found it insufferable for years.
Aunque algunas veces sí es raro malinterpretar algunas palabras, porque aquí dijo las barbas, pero yo entendí otra cosa. Cunt. ¿Cunt? Según mi mal inglés, es otra cosa. Demonios. A ver, dame un momento mientras hago un par de cositas aquí que me olvidé hacer. Que es lo de los drops. Listo. Ya están los drops. ¡Vámonos!
Anyway, the real issue is that Dakana Lakmar is led by my father, Kusela.
Vaya, vaya. Esa no me la sabía.
Hey, what now?
I think I'm starting to understand your anxiety now. But what did they do?
I won't go into details, my lady, but they've been involved in a lot of violent incidents. We're talking hundreds.
Hundreds?
Yep. The scenes tend to be quite gruesome, too. They strip the victims of all their valuables before murdering them. Not only have they targeted merchant caravans and ordinary citizens, but other mercenary brigades as well.
That's beyond terrible. They won't even spare their own kind.
I don't know how Deshret's relic sees it. All I do know is that Dakana Akmar has become more and more aggressive over the last few years. If I don't do something about them, then even my brigade or the people of Aru village could become their next target. I just wish I knew what's driven him to do this.
Yeah. How can your father do such terrible things?
I don't know. People change. He's always been pretty pathetic. But at least in the past, there were still a few lines that he wouldn't cross.
That's setting the bar pretty low.
I mean, if he was even remotely
Pretty
decent,
dark.
then why would I have to leave the brigade and cut all ties with him? He was loud and foolish, with no real sense of purpose. Instead of doing anything useful, he spent most of his time drinking and chasing after
Suena
women.
como cualquier pirata, ¿no?
Of course, the other brigade members were just like him.
Pero estos son
Ruckus would go on night
eremitas.
after night.
Sounds like a nightmare.
What about your mother? Did she ever step in to stop them?
Unfortunately, I never knew my mother.
I'm sorry, Dehya. I didn't know.
It's all
Por un
right.
momento me confundí.
Pretty common in mercenary circles. Didn't I mention that my father was chasing
Pensé que la madre de Dehya era la madre de...
as the result of one of
de
these encounters with some random
Jet.
person?
Pero no,
Told me
estoy
that he
confundido.
wasn't sure who my mother was. And in any case, she never came to see me.
¿Qué verga? Me dijo que no estaba seguro de quién era mi madre y ella tampoco había venido a verme. No estaba seguro de... o sea, ¿la abandonaron? Entonces el padre no es su padre.
He'd say, "You'll be fine as long as you remember to stick with Dad." But even then, he left most of the parenting to the brigade.
Porque, a ver,
One
para...
thing I do remember is that he used to tell me stories.
Para tener un hijo tal vez no sepas quién es el padre. O sea, una madre que no sepa quién es el padre. ¿Entienden por dónde voy? Pero... un padre sí puede conocer o saber quién es la madre de un hijo, ¿verdad? Porque no es como que al padre lo embaracen. ¿No? Y en todo caso, o la dejaron abandonada o fue adoptada. Bueno, es lo mismo, ¿no?
But the problem was that he had terrible taste. He only knew a few stories.
O simplemente no se lo quiere
Those
decir.
tended to be pretty stale. They were tales of desert warriors,
Vamos,
defeating
algo de lógica.
giants in the forest, or stories of mercenaries rescuing princesses from rebel armies.
Sounds like your typical fairy tales.
More or less, yeah. They were interesting maybe the first or second time around, but after about 20 repeats, they started to get a little dull. He seemed to think those stories were the best things ever, though. He was so into them that he'd call the whole brigade over and make them perform the whole thing as a play. Even the toys he gave me would all be story props. I'd get helmets, shields, and toy swords.
XD.
It was only much later when I realized that the shows were more for him than they ever were for me.
What an interesting guy.
Pero no parece que fuera un mal tipo.
Yeah, I've always found him pretty childish, but that was something I could just shrug off. I had no reason to despise him. Until I grew up and learned the true face of Deshret's relics for myself. Looting, blackmail, violence.
Déjenme tomar mi juguete.
They not
Casi
only
me atoro.
accepted such heinous acts, they
¡Ey!
would even openly boast.
Miren quién se vino. Digo, miren quién nos visita. Es el animal. No, espera, ¿es el babo? No, bueno. Hola, Moteque. ¿Me perdonan? Saludos a las personitas que vienen de parte del Moteque. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo están? Bienvenidos sean todos. Aquí tenemos a nuestra leona fogosa. ¿Cómo era? ¿Cómo era?
No one in the brigade was any kind of hero. Instead, my father and his cronies were more like the bad guys that needed to be taken down. Did they really think that as long as they didn't do any of that stuff right in front of me, I would never know?
I think I can understand your feelings. The difference between perception and reality must have hit hard.
Yeah, but don't worry, my lady. It's all water under the bridge
Ay, cabrón.
now. I had a huge argument with my father and left that place behind for good.
Detrás de ella estaba la
I'm not
chamaca esa.
investigating them due to any bitter feelings I still have towards my father. I just want to protect those that are close to me.
Quiere saber por qué hace esas cosas tan horribles.
I told the boys to gather as much information as they could.
Dios mío.
Most of the reports concern violent incidents, but there's also some talk of smuggling.
I see. But isn't this investigation incredibly dangerous?
It is, but every mercenary lives life on the edge. It's a lifestyle that I enjoy.
That may be true, but it'll be impossible for those who care about you not to worry.
Well, now you get why I didn't want to share any of this with you.
What should
Yeah.
we do? They both have valid concerns.
Ir a con Dehya al desierto. Ya, donde
There's
quiera.
no need for you to get caught up in this mess too.
No.
Will she
Yo voy donde vos vayas vos.
she went into the desert with you?
Yo soy tu camino. Digo, yo sigo tu camino. Digo, te acompaño
I'm
en
inclined
el
to
camino.
agree. I'd feel a lot more at ease if you took her along to help.
Yes. Entonces iré. Ella me va a proteger, ¿verdad?
I'll wait for news from you in the city until then. Please, stay safe.
Ajá.
I'm honored that you care so much for me, my
A ver,
lady.
deme un momento, ahorita vengo. He vuelto, disculpen la interrupción. Dice por acá, Karina Selva, bienvenida de vuelta. Andamos en racha de visualización, supongo. Continuemos. Esto ya
All
termina, ¿no?
Then let's get moving. Our first stop will be Caravan Rebat.
Caravana
where we can
Rebat.
catch up a bit with my fellow mercs.
Sangre de la leona. Mantichora, acto 1. Oye, tú apareciste de repente. ¿Tú qué vendes? Por el camino de la rectitud. Ya te puedo cobrar mis productos con la conciencia tranquila. ¿Qué? ¿Duelo? ¿Quién eres tú? Soy la mejor vendedora de alfombras. Oh. Soy la mejor que respecta. En todo menos en libros. ¿Nada de libros? Así es, nada de libros. Está el libro de la calle, seguro que la vida. Así que no me aventuro en eso. Ya. ¿O Miami? En fin. ¿Qué tú quieres, perro? Vámonos. Oye, Dungersat.
Please be careful. I'll stay in the city and wait for news from you. Just don't do anything reckless, all right?
Ok. Mantengámonos seguros. Vámonos. Acá. Pues a ver. No ha hecho nada el animal, ¿no?
Hey, Dehya, you're back. Are these two friends of yours?
Somos amigas de toda la vida. Encantada de conocerte.
Likewise. There's no need to be so formal with us. We're a pretty casual crew. Anyway, since we've got a newcomer, let me fill you in on what the Khan al-Ahmar's been up to.
Nuevas.
They've become extremely aggressive. Apparently, even their own now have become acceptable targets. They even attack other relics brigades, just the same as any other mercenary brigade.
Even the most ferocious beasts still protect their own. It sounds like they've thrown that straight to the wind.
That's right. Once they've collected enough loot off the other mercenaries, they sell it off to a different brigade, or turn to merchants on the black market. A portion of their profits is immediately exchanged for more food and weaponry to be used in their next violent operation.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Así es como funciona el mercado negro, Paimon.
Desperate for Mora. A few days ago, Isham and I trailed them for a while, and even disguised ourselves as merchants to conduct trade with them. We were able to learn a few things from the exchange. Rather than saying they're out to plunder and hoard Mora, it'd probably be more accurate to say that they're experiencing an internal power struggle.
La 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 la
Power struggle?
You heard me right. The vast majority of their victims are mercenaries from the other brigades of Deshret's relics. If their only goal was Mora, they could have gone after anybody. The targeted nature of their attacks points to a power struggle between the different brigades within the relics. That's the only plausible explanation we have. Unfortunately, we weren't able to find out anything more specific. It seems they're also trying to keep things under wraps. Oh, one last thing we discovered was that over the past few years, as the
Me
Khan
estoy
al-Ahmar
deslumbrando.
became more and more active,
Mucho brillo.
Deshret's relics as a whole became a lot weaker.
¿Tanto daño causado dentro de su regimiento?
It sounds mighty strange to me, too. Harun, you can leave the rest of the investigation to us. Gotta say, though, I didn't expect you to go on a whole undercover mission during the few days I was gone. Sounds like you were really putting your necks on the line, no?
Nah, it was nothing. We're just as concerned about the situation as you are. The Khan al-Ahmar is your father's crew after all.
Vaya, sabe que es su padre.
What he said. Besides, Dehya, haven't you done more dangerous things than all of us combined? What we did is nothing compared to your experiences.
¿Quién eres tú?
Yeah. And while they went to talk with Khan al-Ahmar, I took a look at the last camp they attacked. Any survivors of the attack were already long gone. There was nothing of value left in the camp.
Ah, Hisham and Khalaf. You're here too.
We rushed over as soon as we saw you come into Caravan Rebat. Although this new friend of yours looks a little green behind the ears, I'm sensing a special vibe from her. Now that we know you'll have a capable partner with you, we can also rest easy.
¿Ayudante?
Hey, what about Paimon? Feel anything special?
¿Sientes algo especial?
You're also planning to tag along with them?
Of course! Paimon is the traveler's most important guide. Wherever she goes, Paimon will follow.
Oh. In that case, then you'd better take care of her too, Dehya.
Don't underestimate Paimon!
Don't worry about her. She may look tiny and helpless, but she's been through just as many battles as the traveler here. Even if she had only survived on sheer luck, then that alone would still make her
XD.
I had no idea. I guess I shouldn't judge by appearances.
Oh, one other thing, Dehya.
Ay, ay, ay.
When you're free, why don't you update the deputy about your upcoming schedule? We held another recruitment event a few days ago, but everyone only came to see the Flame Main. You weren't around at the time, so people were pretty disappointed to only find our crew of rough, unkempt guys. The deputy put a lot of effort into the event, but it was basically for nothing. Only a few people chose to stay, and that really got to him.
Sorry to hear that. I'll be sure to bring him some great liquor next time. left it a hurry
ey, 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 ey,
back in time
ey,
for the
ey, ey.
event.
Alcohol. Del que se toma. Según lo que acabo de escuchar en inglés. En inglés dijo licor. ¿Ahora entienden? ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué está en inglés? ¡Ta madre!
Gotta admit, I can understand their disappointment, though. You're our brigade's main selling point, after all. Now, if only the deputy could figure out a way to bring a few more smoking hot members into our ranks.
Keep dreaming. Remember the last time I invited a couple gals into the brigade?
¿Qué?
You all just froze up with your mouths gaping like a bunch of
No lo entendí un momento.
scarecrows. The awkward silence and weird expressions left quite the impression on them.
¡Ah!
They
Son
were
los
originally interested
espantaviejas.
in joining us, but after that, they both told me they were too uncomfortable to stick around.
Los verdaderos espantaviejas. Esperen, deme un momento que esto lo tiene que leer el Arqui. ¿Dónde está? Aquí está. Los verdaderos espantaviejas. Continuemos.
Hey, didn't we agree to never bring that up again?
¿Qué carajos? ¿Qué carajos? Mi PC está actuando raro.
Huh? Wait, are you serious? Why have I never heard about this?
I don't think you were part of the brigade yet.
Are you kidding me? I missed a once-in-a-lifetime moment like that and you weren't even gonna tell me?
All right. We can tell you about it later. Now's not the time.
Chale.
Hey, don't you try to change the subject. You and Hisham get your butts over here and tell me everything right now.
Chale.
Are they always like this?
No.
More or less.
No.
Not many rules or
güey.
graces when it comes to mercenaries. We're used to just speaking our minds.
Se
If someone
pasaron
starts
de.
getting under your skin, you just yell right back at them. And if that doesn't put an end to it, then you just challenge them to a fight. But we also don't tend to take many things too seriously.
¿Qué pido?
Being direct and getting it all out of your system as soon as things come up is better than keeping everything bottled up, never talking about it. That's also why I
El rollo.
never spare their feelings when I talk to them. If I want to laugh, I'll laugh. If I'm angry, then I'll unload on them. It's hard to stop once you get used to it. Though, I can never do that when I'm with the Homiyanis. Hey, knuckleheads! Can you at least tell me the rest of the intel before you go back to your bickering?
¿Cómo que pelea de enamorados? Dehya. Deja de burlarte de ellos, please. Pobrecitos, me dan pena.
Yeah, you hear her, Holloff? Told you we gotta focus on the investigation first. I drew up a map. Right here is the spot. There
Qué graciosa es la gente color
I'm
café.
responsible for getting rid of Khan al-Akhmar's looted goods. All you gotta do is wait and ambush them in the evening. They'll have no idea what hit them.
¿Al comerciante?
Thanks for that. Be sure to pass my regards to everyone else in the brigade as well.
Will do. You stay safe, Dehya.
Puta madre. Que cague de risa. güey. A ver, ¿qué dice? Halaf.
Now, like
Me la...
I said, the two ladies Dehya brought with her were also like super mercs. I'm talking same level as Flame Main here. Oh, you should have seen it. The aura of the two of them when they were standing together, it was incredible. I was just at a loss for words, that's all.
Oh, so pathetic.
Hey! Shut up!
Qué tontería, güey. A ver, vamos por acá. Que no, ahí. Que no, aquí. Ahí está. ¿Otra vez? Mi PC está actuando raro.
This should be the place. Let's find a spot to hide and bide our time. It's gonna come down to a fight one way or another, so let's all be careful.
No need to worry. She knows her way around a fight.
¿Qué pedo?
I'm not worried about that. What I meant is that we probably shouldn't go too hard on the enemy.
Yo no tengo un perro. ¿Por qué chingados está ladrando un perro fuera de mi casa? A ver, dame un momento. He llegado. Vecinos han traído... Bueno, visita. Y la visita incluye un perro. Y ahí está el perro. Abro la ventana y el perro se me queda viendo. Se me tuerce la cabeza. Parece dócil. Solamente está jugando. Dice... Lo que es ser demasiado duras. Lo necesitamos en buen estado. Para que responda a nuestras preguntas. Ok. De noche.
Here they come. You ready? Let's not give them a chance to react and end this quickly.
Prueba. Pero espérate, no. A su máquina. Vamos a revisar. ¡A la bestia! ¡Espérate! Tiene un artefacto de probabilidad de críticos y además... tiene estadísticas de probabilidad de críticos. Son como 20 de probabilidad de críticos en los artefactos. ¿What? ¿Cuánto de vida tiene? 43.000 de vida. ¿What? Y aparte, espérate, tiene daño crítico. No solamente es todo en probabilidad de crítico, también tiene daño crítico. Oye, ¿le han puesto una build perfecta, güey? ¿No? ¿Tiene bono de daño pyro? No tiene bono de daño pyro. Por lo que es presumiblemente esto de aquí es vida. Esto es probabilidad crítico, esto de aquí es vida, esto de aquí podría ser ataque. Tiene toda la pinta de que es ataque porcentual. En la copa tiene vida, o viceversa. En esto ataque y en esto de aquí vida. Y el resto es probabilidad crítico, probabilidad crítico, probabilidad crítico. O daño crítico. Son artefactos muy buenos que les han puesto. Aparte de la espada full. Toda al 8. Con 3 constelaciones. Ok.
Let's get it on.
¿Qué pedo? Me tendría que dejar con 2 segundos de cooldown. Sí, está bien la C2, ¿eh? Está bien la C2.
Our bond is strong.
Creo que no debía haber hecho eso. Y ya. No me dejaron probar más al personaje.
You're the flame main.
Good. That saves me an introduction. All right, time for a little talk. Are you buddies with Dakana Lakmar now? Tell me, what are...
You know the code of being a mercenary just like everyone else. The first rule is to never divulge key information about our employer. What makes you think I'd talk?
That might have
Mal
worked on
traducido,
an amateur, but I know you're just looking to protect your reputation. Think about it, though. What's your reputation worth if you won't have the other tools you need to succeed in this line of work? Tools like, I don't know, your limbs or eyes?
A la virga.
5 seconds. You might want to think twice about how much your employer's information is worth to you.
Whoa!
¡Hala! ¡Hala! Tranquila, Paimon. Dehya sabe lo que hace. Tranquila,
I'm
Paimon.
not joking around. We can do this the easy way or the painful way. 2 seconds.
I'll save you the trouble.
¡Ah! ¡Se cortó la lengua!
Huh? Are you crazy? He tried to bite off his own tongue. Quick, search the area for any first aid supplies.
Dehya consigue detener la hemorragia.
I definitely didn't expect him to go that far. Thankfully, the wound wasn't too deep, and he just passed out from the pain.
Claro, está ese... ¿Cómo les digo? Cuando algún asesino o algún ladrón en películas y en series se ve esto, no quiere revelar información, pues se corta la lengua. Se suicida cortándose la lengua. Así como así. Y es a mordiscos, ¿eh? Ay, ñañaras.
Why would he be so extreme?
I just wanted to test his mettle. You can get a lot of mercenaries to talk just by threatening them. I didn't expect him to be willing to go through so much pain just to deny us some intel.
Well, he's out cold for now. We could wait for him to wake up, but maybe it's not a good idea to interrogate him any further.
Bueno, hay algo que tengo que destacar y es que es demasiado determinado como para hacer eso.
About it. It'll be a waste of time to interrogate him again after
En
that.
efecto,
He might just hurt himself again if we start asking.
en efecto. Seguro que intenta morder nuevamente la lengua.
Let's search the area. Maybe we'll be able to find something. I'm really sorry.
Hay una gran cantidad de productos de primera necesidad como comida y agua en las cajas, pero nada de verdadero valor.
We found a piece of paper with a bunch of names on it. Maybe it's a record of something.
Let me take a look. If this really is a merchant caravan, they should have a record of their transactions. Yep. I see an entry for Dakana Lakmar right here. Kusela, Idrisi, Bashar, and Tikriti.
Tikriti.
All familiar names. Dakana Lakmar has been trading for a hefty supply of food, weapons, and medicine. It seems that in the past, they used to receive some canned knowledge as well. This caravan is just one link in their logistics chain. Once in the rainforest, the caravan will exchange the looted goods for Mora, and the funds will then be passed to a specific person. That person will then pack the caravan full of necessary goods, which will then be brought right back to Dakana Lakmar. Wait, why is there no Mora value recorded for the final transaction?
No value?
Yeah, every transaction before the last one was marked with an exact amount of mora, but the final one, where they paid for everything to be brought back to the desert, was simply marked as delivered.
Tal vez las cantidades eran iguales y no hubo que anotar nada.
Perhaps. But they couldn't have known how much they would make off selling the loot. Do they not care about profit margins at all? Anyway, the next part's the records of the goods themselves. There are a lot of entries. Everything was probably sourced from the rainforest. Huh?
What's wrong?
Shazamon Homayani?
Homayani? You mean Dunyarzad's family?
Ay, cabrón.
Could it just be another family with the same last name?
I'd be surprised to find someone with the exact same first and last name. Shazamon Homayani is Dunyarzad's father, and the head of the Homayani family. Just what the heck is going on here?
What the heck? Pensemos primero en las posibilidades.
I'm sorry, you're right. I'll consider what we found and not jump to conclusions just yet. But what this piece of paper confirms is that the Homayani family has been providing goods to Dakana Lakmar.
What if the Homayanis have been kept in the dark and don't know they've been trading with Dakana Akmar?
That's a possibility, but if that was the case, why is this caravan specifically named Shazamon as their person of contact? They could have just as easily bought goods such as food and medicine directly from Caravan Rebat or Port Ormos.
Puede que estuvieran al tanto desde el principio.
Yeah, funding violence and looting. The brigade gets the goods, and he is paid the proceeds from the sale of the loot.
But why would he do something like this? It's not like the Homayanis are in need of money.
I honestly have no idea. I've been to their estate many times, and I've never noticed anything suspicious. The only potentially large expenditure I could think of would be the treatment costs for Dunyarzad's Elazar. Maybe they borrowed a lot of mora in the past? But that's still just a speculation. I don't think the master would stoop so low to make mora.
No creo que Dunyarzad sepa nada de esto.
You're probably right. I know my lady's personality, and she wouldn't deliberately keep something like this from us.
But what should we do now? All we found is just another mystery.
No podemos dar marcha atrás, no si queremos llegar al fondo de este asunto.
If you ask me, we already have no choice but to confront her about this. I'm not worried. It's too early to make a verdict yet. I still have faith in the Homayanis. Let's go find my lady again. We'll tell her everything and see if she's willing to lend us her support. If we're lucky, we can not only figure out the mystery of this paper, but also follow the trail of breadcrumbs to the people responsible at Dakana Lakmar.
Dehya, are you sure this is the best decision? What if instead of getting the help we need, we just end up revealing everything we've discovered to the enemy?
I've considered that possibility. But even still, I want to tell her what we found. I think I owe her that much. True friendship is built on trust. She showed genuine concern for me when we first brought up the topic. I can't repay her kindness with doubt and suspicion. That's not how I deal with people.
You're right. Paimon wants to trust Dunyarzad too.
Ahora puede ayudarnos. ¿No estará escuchando este de acá atrás?
Yeah. Let's pay another visit to Sumeru City.
Ay, ay, ay. La misión, ¿cómo se llama? La misión, la misión. La vida de Satar no corre peligro y es probable que despierte pronto. Lo mejor es dejar que descanse por ahora. ¿Seguro? ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué carajos tiene ese nombre? A ver. Vamos a teletransportarnos de una buena vez. Y de hecho, ahorita vengo. Que andan llamando. ¡Ay!
I'm sure I've forgotten something. Not to worry, I'll simply send someone to fetch
Continuemos.
it. As soon as...
Fíjate. A ver. Señorita Dunyarzad. Ha pasado algo raro. Wow, Interesante.
We're back, my lady.
Oh, you're back a lot sooner than I expected. You mustn't have run into any trouble then. Well, how did it go? What did you come up with?
No son buenas noticias, señorita.
Actually, we are still investigating. It's just that we've discovered something strange.
Strange.
See, the clues you found have led you back here, in the city?
Something like that. Yeah.
You all look a little dispirited. Whatever you found must not have been very encouraging after all. Why don't you discuss it with me? Maybe I'll be able to say something to cheer you up?
It's okay, my lady. It's not so much about me being upset with my father or anything like that. How should I put this?
So something is wrong. Even the Traveler and Paimon have been uncharacteristically quiet. On any other day, Paimon would have already waved to me with a smile and shouted, "Dunyarzad, we're back!" So tell me, what happened?
Well?
My lady, please prepare yourself for what we're going to tell you next. It concerns the Master.
The Master? You mean my father? Okay, I understand. Don't worry about me. I'll listen as attentively as I can.
Con gran dificultad, Dehya le cuenta todo lo que han descubierto durante su investigación.
Father has been supplying goods to Dagan al-Akmar?
Yeah, it makes as little sense to us as it does to you. I've never doubted the Master's integrity, so I'm having a real hard time rationalizing how he could ever support an infamous brigade like them. Maybe he's not actually aware of the full story and just stumbled into the deal by accident.
Aunque no parece que sea el caso.
I can't help but agree with the Traveler.
Huh? You mean you feel the same way, Dunyarzad?
¿Cómo?
Thank you for sharing all this information with me. Since you've told me everything you know, I should also tell you about some doubts that I've been harboring for quite a while. In the past, I thought that my father hired a bodyguard for me so that I wouldn't run away and get lost. However, there are plenty of capable mercenaries in the Corps of 30. Why did my father go out of his way to hire Dehya?
About that. Well, the Homayanis really needed bodyguards, so they reached out to the Blazing Beasts.
¿Tú crees que sea por esa razón?
Later, the Master told me that I was one of the best mercenaries he'd ever seen, and that I should stick around to become one of his bodyguards.
Es un
He offered
trato
me a
entre...
pile of Mora, so I just signed on.
Well, but that didn't really answer my question. Just think about it. Why did my father specifically reach out to the Blazing Beasts?
Maybe the core of 30 just didn't have anyone available, or maybe someone recommended us. I've never given it too much thought. I think I get what you're saying. You think none of this was a coincidence.
Precisely. At first glance, nothing seems strange or out of place. But there are many parts of the story that don't actually make any sense. If my father had always been in contact with the Khan al-Akmar, then it would make sense for him to bring Dehya into our house.
Pues sí.
You mean the goal all along was to get Dehya to be your bodyguard?
No, that's too much of a stretch. I cut all ties with my father a long time ago. He has no control over my life anymore.
¿Tú crees? Ay, es posible que el Dehya no haya tenido, o sea, algún contacto con su padre, o que no le interese relacionarse con su padre, pero el padre de Dehya probablemente le haya recomendado a ella. El padre de Don Yarsad la haya recomendado el padre de Dehya a ella, a Dehya. Es una posibilidad. A ver qué dice.
That still doesn't rule out the possibility that your father has still been trying to influence your life without you knowing.
En efecto. En efecto.
So, the master was not likely an innocent victim in all of this?
Sí.
Sorry we put all this on you so suddenly, Dunyarzad.
It's okay, Paimon. I should actually be thanking you. Regardless of his reasons, if my father has truly been funding a violent group of mercenaries, then it's my duty to bring him back to reason.
But is that really the right thing to do? My father has committed many atrocities and deserves all the punishment that he has coming to him. I have zero sympathy for him. You may call me an ungrateful child, but my feelings will remain the same. However, the Homayani family has treated me with nothing but generosity and kindness. If we decide to investigate this further, we could end up implicating the entire Homayani family. I would be biting the hand that's fed me over all these years.
Dehya.
It's all right, Dehya. If anyone were to ask, you could always just say that I'm the one who instructed you to get to the bottom of this.
You don't have to do that, my lady. I'm not conflicted because I'm afraid of taking responsibility. Besides, you're the one we should all be worried about right now.
Hey, it's still too early to give up hope. What was the thing about friendship again?
La amistad debe basarse en la confianza.
Right, yeah, trust. You said that yourself, Dehya.
Ah, sí, confianza. Tú mismo lo dijiste.
Dialed up before we've confirmed all the facts.
Tal vez tenga su motivo para hacer lo que hace.
Everyone. That makes a lot of sense. I guess I should always remember the trust that I've placed in people. In which case, my lady, could you ask the master to come out and have a chat with us?
Sure thing. I also hope he'll be able to give us a logical explanation. Let's meet at the usual place then.
Usual place? Ah, right.
Ay, Dios mío, la tontería esta. Bueno, continuemos. Ah, carajo. Siempre pasa
Thank
eso.
you for coming, sir. Please allow me to introduce these two. This is the traveler, and next to her is her travel companion, Paimon.
Compañera de viaje.
Yes, my daughter has mentioned them from time to time. It's a privilege to finally meet them in person. But we may skip all the
That's among-
pleasantries for now. What is the important matter you wish to discuss with me today?
Well, we wanted to bring this transaction record to your attention. There's something on this record that we're all pretty curious about.
Dehya le explica todas a Shaman y expone sus
So
dudas.
that's what you
No sé qué.
found. Huh. Seems like I can't keep everything from you much longer.
If you wouldn't mind, we'd like an explanation.
Well, it's a long and difficult story. And to be perfectly honest, I'm not sure if I'm doing the right thing.
Cuenta.
What I do know, though, Dehya, is that the truth will bring you no solace.
Ay, no.
If anything, it will likely cause you a great amount of anguish.
Lo que sí sé es que nada de lo que diga te hará sentir mejor, Dehya. Al contrario, solo te causará un gran pesar.
Wait, me?
Yes, I understand perfectly why you came to see me. And I am touched by your collective commitment to do the right thing. But knowledge always comes at a price. And sometimes, as they say,
La ignorancia es una dicha.
ignorance is bliss. Your father, Kusela, and I both believed that.
¿Qué?
Of course, you have the right to seek and learn the truth, but I must warn you. The facts of this matter may reduce everything you've built for yourself into sand, blowing in the wind. If you must proceed, then Kusela's heartfelt efforts will also fade into the wind like a fleeting mirage.
His heartfelt efforts? I'm sorry, sir, but I'm not sure I follow. I've made it this far in life without a single drop of my father's support. I have my own ideals and ways of looking at the world, as well as people and causes that I've chosen to cherish and fight for. None of these things have anything to do with him.
Y nos visita esta vez. Déjenme pongo la cosa esta de Twitch aquí. 10 Games. Hey, ¿qué tal? 10. El Dani. Saludos a la gente que viene de parte del Dani, del 10 Games. Premio doble. Ya. ¿Cómo andamio? Pues la misión de Dehya se puso rara, ¿eh? Ahorita entienden por qué lo digo. Dame un momento. Se puso rara la misión de Dehya. No la he empezado todavía. Bueno, si quieres evitar spoiler, pues para afuera. Digo, tape la pantalla o qué sé yo. Pero lo que sí puedes ver es el nombre de esta misión. Aquí está. Se puso rara la misión. Muy rara. Cuando la vi... Cuando la vi, sí me reí. Mi humor, mi humor. Mi humor está roto, amiguitos. Pero se puso rarísima la misión de Dehya. Me encanta. ¡Ah, me muero! Exploración en el desierto de Sumer en busca del plug legendario ya. Dios mío, sí me morí de risa. Me morí de risa. Y ahora me llevan en la camilla. Dicen, tengo mis propios valores y ideas sobre este mundo y también tengo gente de asuntos que me importan. Quiero proteger. Nada de eso tiene la más mínima relación con mi padre.
I came here today to support you as the head of the Homiyani family. No warning will change my stance on that.
Dios mío.
I understand. Then let me tell you a little story. Our family
Historia.
once needed to take a trip to the desert when Dunyarzad was just a baby. Along the way, we were attacked by bandits. They had superior numbers and quickly overpowered our bodyguards. When all seemed lost, a group of passerby Eremites lent us their support.
A ver, continuamos. Disculpen la demora. Ahora me apareció por ahí. Perfecto.
Those Eremites were Kusela's brigade, Dekhan al-Ahmar. Kusela's men told me that the attackers were Eremite mercenaries, just like themselves. I was shocked. Why would Dekhan al-Ahmar go so far to save us and not spare the fellow Eremites? Kusela was grinning and walked over to play with baby Dunyazad. She was startled by his unfamiliar face and nearly started crying.
Really? I never knew.
Curioso.
He said that he had no particular reason to help us. He just took pity on us because he had a daughter about the same age. We started talking about our children, and I sensed that he was a devoted father. To repay his kindness, I hired his brigade to help out at our estate for a time and offered everyone generous remuneration.
So, that's what happened.
It was many years before I saw him again. I almost didn't recognize him the next time he came knocking on my door. The man I knew to be strong and healthy had been reduced to a shell of himself. He couldn't even walk anymore without his cane.
So, what happened to him? He was perfectly fine when I left the brigade.
I'm not too sure myself. The only thing that didn't change was his cheery disposition. He said there was absolutely nothing to worry about and that he had gotten into a fight. That was all. He then suddenly asked me if Dunyazad, now that she had grown, would need a bodyguard of her own.
Interesante. Dice, es como hacer una misión de arconte en la selva de Sumero con 14 y te encuentras a los muertos en el monte. ¿Qué? No es porque ya me haya pasado. Solo mero dato curioso. Ching.
At the time, Dunyazad was going through a particularly severe bout of her Elazar. There was no need for her to have a bodyguard when she could barely leave the house.
Me voy a bañar, así me preparo para ir a trabajar. Dale, 10. Pasa bonita tarde y vaya con cuidado. Sí, 14 de febrero, sí, entiendo. Me queda clarísimo la referencia a lo que acabamos de ver del nombre de misión, de lo de selva de Sumero y lo de los morros en el monte. 14 es que ya me dices todo con eso. Ay, Dios mío. Digo, es como que atar cabos. Y otras cosas también. Continuamos.
But he kept coming back to the topic. Come on, it never hurts to be safe. How do you know a bodyguard won't come in handy one day? I was completely lost at first, until he recommended the Blazing Beasts, and in particular, a mercenary named Dehya.
So he was the one who recommended Dehya to you.
Pues es lo que había dicho anteriormente, ¿eh?
He didn't say it out loud, but it was clear that he saw Deshret's relics as an evil group who would eventually corrupt every member in their ranks.
Es justamente lo que había dicho anteriormente.
He hoped that he would be able to detach his daughter from the vicious world of mercenary life. If Dehya could stay in my house and keep working as a bodyguard, then gradually her affinity for the desert would decrease, and she'd be able to leave her previous life behind.
And that's why you offered her such generous compensation?
Yes, but not just because of that. From the moment that he asked me for that favor, I also began to see Dehya as my own daughter. And that's also why I tried to persuade you to stay when you asked for permission to leave. I was willing to spend however much it took.
Vaya.
Sayla saved my daughter and I
A ver,
all those years
¿ahorita
ago in
vengo?
the desert. I could never refuse him entrusting his daughter to me.
A ver, continuemos.
He was always like that, acting like he's oh so smart and self-righteous.
Kusela said that he'd reimburse me for a portion of Dehya's fees. I refused to take any mora from him, but he'd always send me funds anyway. Eventually, I just accepted them as a token of his gratitude. And that went on for a while until I received another letter from him a few years ago. The letter contained a request to help him buy food, weapons, medicine, and even explosive materials.
Comenzó a aprovecharse de él.
Isn't that around the time that Decano Akhmar started becoming more aggressive?
That's right. When I started to hear some nasty rumors, I became wary. I wanted to meet him face to face to discuss things. But by then, he was no longer receptive to my requests to talk. If I had to guess, it's probably because he doesn't want to put Dehya at risk.
Si ese fuera el caso, no debería haberte pedido ayuda.
That thought occurred to me as well. I figured that he probably came to me for help because he had nobody else to turn to. After some deliberation, I decided to send him some food and medicine. I turned down all his requests for explosives and weaponry. I am aware that even such a reduced gesture of support could lead to others coming to harm, but I could not simply reject his plea for help. In the end, it probably was the wrong decision. I plugged my ears to the rumors and just chose a solution that made me feel least guilty about myself.
If you can, please tell me where he is now. None of the things he's doing right now make any sense if he's just trying to keep me from getting tangled up in his world. If all he wants to do is steer clear of me, then maybe he shouldn't have brought me into this world in the first place.
La verga. A la bestia. Y si lo que quiere es mantener las distancias conmigo, tal vez no debería haberme traído al mundo directamente. Dehya, relaja la
Oh no. Dehya, please don't feel that way.
I'm just angry because I can't wrap my head around any of his actions.
Tal vez haya otra forma de interpretar las cosas.
Another way? I don't know. I knew him, and he was nothing more than a childish brute. I can't understand what's going through his head. But I guess you do have a point. We haven't uncovered the whole truth yet. We still need to figure out his exact actions and reasoning for these last few years.
¿Más motivos para tirarle? No.
Of course, anything between the two of you would need to be resolved between you and him alone. I don't know Kusela's exact whereabouts. Outside of supplying his brigade with some goods, I tried my best to avoid getting involved any further with him. However, there's a man on the list named Jawed. He used to be a mercenary in the desert and is now a member of the Corps of 30. He's responsible for supplying weapons and liaising with the Deccan al-Akhmar's merchant caravan. I think he should know Kusela's whereabouts. I've heard that he likes to have a few drinks alone and enjoy the cool wind at night outside the tavern. Maybe you'll be able to find him there.
Understood. Thank you, sir. Then I guess this is bye for now, unless...
I'll stay and be with my father here. To be honest, I'm still a little dazed and haven't finished processing everything.
Bueno,
My father has indeed done something
no
wrong,
está tan
but
metido en esto,
if I think about it, I'm also not sure if there was a right way to handle this problem.
Claro, es que no tenía otra opción. En agradecimiento por lo que... por cómo le ayudó, no tenía otra opción. Hasta lo último que ya se dio cuenta que, pues... son cosas que no. Pero en teoría, Dunyarzad no tiene nada que ver en este asunto.
I feel like our only course of action is to turn everything we know over to the Corps of 30 and let them render judgment.
Yes. I am prepared to accept whatever verdict they choose. It's time to face my mistakes.
Vamos a ver. Es que la misión no tiene nombre, ¿eh? Quiero decir, no tiene... Ay, Dios mío. What the hell? ¿Acá? ¿Dónde? Ah, de noche, vaya. Noche es 9, ¿verdad? O 8. Ya lo vi. Creo. Ah, no, es el que es.
Huh? Who are you guys?
¿Está sentada?
I know what you've been up to. Smuggling weapons to violent brigades in the desert while working for the Corps. Pretty bold, if you ask me.
Shh. Keep your voice down. How do you know all that? Come with me. We should take this elsewhere. I'll be happy to talk things over once we're somewhere private.
¿Qué fue?
This place should do. Alright. Back to my question. How did you all know about me?
Don't worry about that for now. You know what kind of punishment you'll face once we report you to the Corps, I assume.
Wait. There's no need to jump the gun. Let's talk this out. What are your terms?
So what's in it for you anyway, Mora?
Well, I was a little tight on money at the time, and Kusela took good care of me in the past. I waited in my mind, and I couldn't find a reason to turn the opportunity down. I wouldn't only be helping my benefactor, but I could also make some quick Mora.
Let me tell you how it is. We're investigating Dekhan al-Akmar, and we're gonna put an end to their operations. If you provide some help for us, then we might just put in a good word later to reduce the terms of your punishment.
Hey, why don't we discuss this a little first? Listen, I made quite a bit of Mora from my last run. Just give me a number, and I'm sure we can...
Shut it. My patience is running out. You should
Cállate,
know when a mercenary is
básicamente.
after something other than money.
All right, sheesh. But you gotta promise you'll put in some nice words for me later. They're always on the move. Here's the spot they were at the last time I made my delivery to the desert. Feel free to go have a look. I'm just telling you though, it's not on me if they're not there anymore.
Sure. And then you can forget about any nice words from us.
Hey,
Dale.
come on. Now you're just being unreasonable.
Really? And how do I know you're not leading us straight into a trap? Don't forget, you're the one with no bargaining chips.
All right, I get it. Why don't you go take a look, and if they're not there anymore, I'll try to figure out something else for y'all.
Now that's more like it. Let's move.
Vaya.
And as for you, try to stick around the city until we get back. You don't want us to call the folks from the Corps and have them drag you back to the city.
Estoy regañado.
Don't worry. I'm not going anywhere.
Ay, los NPCs. Espera, ¿qué es esto? Esta es una misión, vaya, que buscaba en la 3.0. Sí. Ya no la quiero. Ya no quiero verte educado.
Stay close. No going off on your own. The desert doesn't take prisoners. Seems like we're in luck. That should be their camp right up ahead. Let's go. We'll finally get to the bottom of this ourselves.
¿Ya se va a acabar?
I'm here to see Kusela. Tell him to get out here.
Hola.
Dehya, why are you here?
Where do you think our bond is strong?
Look alive!
Ay, ya se murió.
Haven't you all done enough?
Oh, so are you also here to stop us?
Stay out of this. It's got nothing to do with you.
Espera.
Let's get it on! Hi!
Dissipate!
Look alive!
15.000 de sobrecargado. ¿Qué?
You're dead meat!
She's so strong.
Enough fighting. We all know each other, and I don't want to take things too far. Just bring Kusela to me. There's no use hiding him anymore. Did you understand a single word I just said? Or do I need to bash your skull in some more?
¿Recuerdan que dijo que estaba como que medio... que había perdido su jovialidad o que no tenía el mejor aspecto?
All right, everyone, let's all just calm down for a second. Dehya, the boss can't come out and see you anymore. He died a long time ago.
En efecto. La música.
What?
Seems like you've been out of the loop for a while. Guess that's for the best, though. At least, that's what the old man wanted.
When did he die? What happened to him?
A few years ago, Kusela broke up Dakan al-Ahmar and went to the Deshret's Relics headquarters by himself.
So is that when you guys started acting up?
We would prefer to call it taking revenge. Every last person in Deshret's Relics must pay in blood for what they did.
Por eso decían que había una disputa interna. Al final se trata de un ajuste de cuentas.
Let me start from the beginning. Dehya, do you know how the head of the relics maintained order internally?
Overwhelming strength and unquestionable authority?
Those were a part of it, yes. But just those on their own weren't enough. They had another tool at their disposal. They called it a person's record. Regardless of whether they joined by their own will or were coerced, every person in Deshret's Relics were forced to leave a record of themselves at headquarters. Whether it be their deepest sin, some unforgivable act, or their most immoral exploit, the record served both as a symbol of loyalty and the perfect material for blackmail.
¿Rosalia quería deshacerse de ese archivo?
That's precisely it. Every one of us have a record. Me, Bashar, Tikriti, and all the boys who grew up with Dehya and ended up joining our ranks. But you, Dehya, you were never asked to provide a record, were you?
I never even knew this was a requirement.
You were probably the only person in all of Deshret's Relics who didn't know about it.
Ever since you were born, Boss had been trying to shield you from this organization's sinister rules. Not only that, but he also banned all of us from committing any nefarious acts. He said he'd take care of the dues we had to pay regularly to headquarters. But in the end, he was just an ordinary person. What could he do? He was forced to go to headquarters again and again to account for missed dues and incomplete records. He'd come up with all kinds of excuses and get beaten up as a result.
We all knew he was doing that for you. He wanted to get you out of this world, no matter what it took.
And that's why he became a shell of himself and couldn't walk without a cane.
Wait, but that doesn't make any sense. I didn't know about any of this, and I'd never seen him get injured or beaten.
Because you were too young at the time. How would you ever tell between wounds from a beating and wounds from battle? When you left home after that final argument with him, he seemed to age by a decade overnight. Even his hair went gray.
So, even the blazing beasts were...
Yep. It was all his doing. Had he not arranged them to come to you, you probably would have been reduced to a pulp before you ever left the desert.
A few years ago, Boss said he needed to make another trip to headquarters. He was already pretty weak then, and we all assumed he was going to get beaten again. I suggested that he hand the role of leadership over to me, but he said there was no longer any need, since the Khan al-Ahmar would soon be no more. His words made no sense to me, but that night, we heard that a massive fire tore through headquarters and razed everyone's records to ash.
Everyone gained their freedom that night. Many members fled, not just from our ranks, but from the other brigades as well. But how could we leave with a clear conscience? All of us who knew exactly what had happened.
The boss can't have just died for nothing. Those heartless jerks at headquarters took him from us.
From that point on, the sole purpose of the Khan al-Ahmar became revenge. The big fire that Boss started was quite a blow to headquarters' strength. It's given us the opportunity to launch our attack. Even though we're outnumbered, we vowed to see our revenge through to the very end.
Pero también habéis atacado a otras
There
personas.
were people from headquarters who changed their names and went into hiding. Some fled to other brigades, and others escaped to the rainforest. But we won't let any of them escape our wrath. They'll all pay for what they've done.
We've suffered plenty of losses as well. To keep going, we need an enormous amount of supplies, from food and medicine to weaponry and explosives. All we can do is exchange our loot from Mora, and then use that to get supplies. We forged Boss's handwriting and sent out many letters to his former friends. Thankfully, many people were willing to come to our aid. We were also able to attract many mercenaries who shared our goal. We've endured unspeakable pain to win many impossible battles. Deshret's relics have become weaker and weaker, and now we finally have an opportunity to directly strike their headquarters.
Paimon doesn't know what to say anymore.
Responder a la violencia con violencia solo causará más daño.
We do know right from wrong, but we were sinners from the very beginning. We do not deserve the freedom that the boss won for us with his life. Boss always loved his old-fashioned hero stories. Those tales about sacrificing yourself to save the world. We used to always laugh at him for it. But in the end, he really went and lived those stories out himself. As for me, I never considered myself a hero. We're all the lowest of the low. We have no right to even imagine such an existence. But maybe those hero stories he liked foreshadowed everything that was to come. The spirit of the hero touched all those he had saved, and more people joined his cause. Maybe we were all just acting along with the play in the beginning. But as we acted the parts and recited the lines, we were drawn in. And now, we want to see the story through to the end. I'm sorry, Dehya. I know you always found us insufferable ever since you were young. Just think of this as a madman ranting.
I'll go with you.
What?
Huh? Dehya? You want to go with them?
I grew up with these guys, and I know they're not bad people. It's just that some situations get so bad that it's difficult to tell good from evil. All I know is that Deshret's relics must be destroyed. Furthermore, I want to go see the place for myself. I want to know if my father is still there. I know you don't want to get involved in this, so there's no need for you to tag along. I can do this on my own.
Pienso cumplir la promesa que le hice a Don Yerta.
Paimon feels like we'd only regret it if we don't see this through to the end.
Thank you. We'll be a lot stronger together with you.
I bet Boss would lose his mind if he ever knew you'd join us at the very last moment like this.
Considering all the losses and injuries we sustained, we can't afford to turn down someone as powerful as you.
He can think whatever he wants. But the fact is, I owe him this much.
Una fachada en redes. A la guarida de los herederos del Red. ¿Dónde es eso? Ahí soy un tarado. Veamos. A ver, desde aquí. Oh, sí. ¡Ey! Pusieron esto a propósito, hombre. ¡Qué buen servicio!
Stand with me.
What?
I see everything.
You asked for it.
¡Ay! Ya se murieron. Mira cómo la cámara se mueve automáticamente para decirte, allá están estas tonterías.
The entrance? We sure didn't run into much trouble on the way here.
Should be. I don't think they have enough manpower left to post guards and defend their perimeters.
Bueno. Gloria del pasado.
Wow. Paimon didn't expect it to look like this on the inside.
They should all be holed up in here. Don't know how many people they've got left, though.
Who cares? We'll round up all of them.
Still, we should be careful. Even if they've only got one shot left, it could still take us out.
Nada lo que no me haya enfrentado ya.
Yeah, we'll know what they're really capable of once we've landed some hits on them. Deshret's relics may have been a force to be reckoned with before, but their name means nothing now.
Yeah, they don't stand a chance with you here. I'll take the lead. I've been here once before.
Adéntrate en la guarida. Antes de eso... ¡Ja! ¿Qué hacen? Ya se están golpeando, hombre. Míralos. ¿Cómo que me dieron a una Dehya de prueba? ¿Dónde está mi Dehya?
Let's get it on!
Regret.
¿Quién falta? Ah.
Buckle up!
Pero ve.
Everyone hold hands.
Our bond is strong.
Be still.
Where do you think you're?
Ven aquí.
Law of the jungle.
$31,000.
This way.
Es que te dieron la de prueba porque la tuya sigue puch. ¿Quién dice?
Wait, they went charging ahead without checking for any traps.
Se mueren.
Hey, you guys okay?
It seems like we just got trapped in here. Don't think we triggered anything else.
Watch out, the enemy's coming from ahead.
Well, now that things have come to this, see.
Don't worry about us. We knew something like this could happen. Go and take a look around. There could still be another way through. Let's go! We can't let the boss down!
Let's check if there's another way. The sooner we can make it through to help them, the better.
Let's see. I think I see a way through over there, but it's being blocked by something. Let's try our luck with that mechanism.
Okay, let's go.
Vienen los puzzles. Los puzzles. Cofres. Necesito un chingo de cofres, ¿eh? Me he dejado la vida y el ahorro de 6 meses en el arma de Dehya y en Dehya. Así que sí necesito un chingo de cofres. No me digas que no va a haber ninguna. Ajusta la altura y el color de la luz para que pueda ser recibida correctamente. ¿Qué? Amarillo. A ver, cambiar de color. Subir. Primer cofre. De 2 protos.
This way through the little.
Cascade.
Stand with me.
Another mechanism like the one before, but this one's being blocked off in the middle.
We just need to adjust it a little.
Nada por aquí. A ver qué dices. ¿Girar? Ya entendí. Oh. Entonces, esto es ajustar la altura hacia abajo. ¿Y ya? Ah, y sigan. Ah, pero los de Mona. Hola. A ver, voy a hacer esto.
Mind the deluge. Be still.
No. Ahí soy tarado.
Strong. Gloves off.
Let's get it on!
No me gusta que se quede a la mitad de la energía. Mi Dehya no sufre de eso.
I see everything.
Cascade.
Todavía no tiene la ulti cargada. Carajos. ¿Me habrás dicho?
Ahí no te dije la plata, ¿no estuvimos hablando ayer?
No. Este es el color distinto. Cambiar el color.
I wasn't expecting anyone to make it through from the other side. But as a desert dweller, I suppose we should be used to our folks defying all expectations.
Don't waste your breath. You have nowhere to run.
Run? Had I wanted to run, I would have fled 1,000 times already. I witnessed the golden age of Deshret's relics. Even if I could leave this place behind, all that awaits me now are endless days of humiliation and ruin. Even now, my brothers and I still believe in one thing. The greatest should never live to remember their fall.
So you want to go out in a blaze of glory?
Let us draw our weapons! We will show them the true power King Deshret bestowed upon his followers. They are but two, while we hold within ourselves the entirety of the relic's glory.
Oleadas, oleadas.
Wave one, charge! Eliminate them!
Oh, mira, me hicieron caso, güey.
Buckle up!
Don't think that you won. You're just getting started.
I see everything.
We'll
meet
again. King Deshret will not abandon any one of his followers.
Let's get it on! No and now!
Brothers! With me, this is where we prove our faith.
Do you all just want to die?
None of us plan to leave this place alive!
Vale.
The commander has finally fallen.
But they're still coming at us! This place is like a gladiator's ring. They just keep coming no matter how many we beat.
Que sigan, que sigan, que sigan.
Keep fighting! There's no need to fear, and no need to back down!
When the next wave comes, try to draw away their attacks. I'm going to see if I can take out that high platform.
Ahí.
Get out of my way!
Come and face me, Michel! Ugh, so they've broken through the front as well.
Apologies, Lord Michal. They fight like absolute madmen. No matter how much we throw at them, they just keep coming for more.
So, it would seem like this is the end.
Time to pay for everything you've done, Michel.
You think I would give you that opportunity? I will be buried in the sand alongside all the rest of our fading glory.
Hey, wait!
What? No, me encanta que se renderice en el momento, ¿sabes?
We were too late.
¿Qué carajos?
It's over. There's no more need to fight. But if you're still going to cling on to your so-called mercenary's pride, then I'll give you all a good beating as well.
Hey, Dehya! I found the mechanism. I'll get you all back up here right away.
Aplaste el cofre, ¿no?
Go.
Dirígete al nivel superior. Y me caigo, ¿no? No. Sale. Veamos. ¿A quién le subimos al...? A ella. ¿Qué demonios? Probabilidad de críticos. Recarga de energía. ¡Lul! Nada mal, ¿eh? Continuemos, continuemos.
Who are you filthy rats? And why are you always pestering us?
You call yourself a member of the infamous Deshret's relics, and you still can't even tell who's made it all the way to your headquarters?
Who knows what intent a bunch of rats may have? We try to catch a couple, and you all just show up on the other side instead. How are we supposed to figure out what you're after? Hey, have you ever heard of a man by the name of Kusela? Why would I know? It's not like I'm in charge or anything.
This is your last chance to talk.
Hey, I said I don't know anything. I'm just an average member here. I'm telling the truth. If you're here to find someone, why don't you look through the records yourselves? Who can remember every name and face with so many people coming in and out every day?
The irony.
Ironia.
His life became a light for so many, yet to others, it wasn't even worth remembering. Where's the records room? Answer me!
It's right over there. All the files are in there. You can go through them as much as you want. It's not like any of them still matter anyway.
I mean the old records room.
The old records room? You mean the one that got burned down? Kusela. Ah, yeah, I remember him now.
El cojo ese.
Watch your mouth. That's our boss you're talking about. He was definitely faking it. We all let our guard down as soon as we saw him come hobbling in. But in the short time it supposedly took him to take a dump, he'd already gotten away and started a fire in the records room. He couldn't have possibly outrun us if he wasn't a fraud. And after that, Deshret's relics fell into complete disarray.
Stop wasting our time. Every one of us here is perfectly aware of what he had done. Tell me, where is the old records room?
It's just over there. Go see it for yourself if it means that much to you. There's nothing left in there but ashes. No human could ever survive that kind of inferno. Bashar, Tikriti, let's go. We'll leave the others here to guard these guys. Spare them no mercy if they try anything.
Para vigilar a estos chicos. No solamente vigilar. ¿Qué es esta de acá? Ah, por aquí entraron los... Va, ya entendí. Y aquí fue donde golpearon, supongo.
So, this was his final destination. How did he do it? Getting past all the guards with a limp and sneaking in here to start a fire? If he was nimble enough to do that, then he must have been able to get out of here after starting the fire, right?
Dehya.
I'm sorry. I know it's just wishful thinking. Let's look around. Maybe we can find something that's been left behind.
Todos buscan por la sala. El bastón.
Is this a cane? It must be the one that Dehya's father used.
Kusela.
Thanks for everything, boss.
We're fortunate to somehow find that cane after that fire.
Let's split up and look around some more. What if something else has been left behind?
But what else could survive a fire like that?
Huh?
Es cinemática esta. Una espada.
Thought so.
Wait! Isn't that the toy sword you played with as a child?
The dragon is no more, for Princess Dehya has slain it. Its head now hangs above the city gates. Her bravery has brought eternal
Dehya
peace and
chiquita.
prosperity to us all. Dehya, come on. This is the most important line.
You can do it.
But Dehya, you defeated the dragon. Everyone's waiting for your speech. Still too shy, huh? All right, I'll do it. I hereby proclaim our victory. Evil shall plague us no more.
I hereby proclaim our victory. Evil shall plague us no more, Dad.
Interesante. Ahora que el régimen de los 30 conoce toda la historia, decide tomar el mando de la investigación. Todos los miembros de los herederos del rey han sido detenidos y los miembros de la madre que los separó.
What's this?
Es hora de recurrir a la vieja confiable de texto sobre tiempo. Dice: todos los miembros de los herederos de Desred han sido detenidos y los miembros de las barbas de Alhamar también se han entregado. Dehya recibe el bastón de Kusalia como parte de su herencia. Durante todo el camino de vuelta, Dehya permanece sumida en un profundo silencio. Continuemos. ¿Qué es esto? Te hemos comprado algunos aperitivos y algo de beber.
Don't you remember? You asked Paimon what she would do if she were to wake up tomorrow with loads of money. And Paimon said that she would get boatloads of tasty snacks. You looked super confused at the time, but said it was an adorable thing to say. These opportunities don't come by often. So today, Paimon's gonna treat you to a special crash course on Paimon's life philosophy.
No suele gastar ningún humor, ni humor en los demás. En realidad esto no va a salir de su bolsillo.
Hey, this way you get something from the both of us for the price of one. Anyway, the point is that you should eat to your heart's content. You'll feel better for sure once you've gotten something in your tummy. Dunyarzad will also be here shortly. She's already heard that we're back.
Aw, thanks you two. Honestly, this is very unlike me. I just had a lot on my mind on our way back, so I didn't know what to say. My chest was filled with all kinds of intense emotions. They just shook me even more than all the feelings we've shared during our previous adventures. But when everything came to an end, those emotions also vanished without a trace, and I was left feeling more empty than ever before. It was as if I'd lost the thing that was most important to me.
Ush. Ha sido todo muy repentino.
Yeah, you're right. To many mercenaries, Mora is the most important thing in the world. But perhaps to us, it's the most worthless thing of all. Idrisi and the others all used to say that they would quit if there was no Mora to be had. But when it came to avenging my father, there was no Mora to be made anywhere. My reality shattered when I found out that the father who always told me hero stories was in fact a bad guy. But look at me now. Am I any different? Despite all my promises about never forgiving him and never trying to understand him, I still went to such lengths to find out the truth and nearly even shed tears for his sake. We're hypocrites. All of us.
Hipócrita. No deberías poner en duda tus sentimientos.
Yeah, you're right. It's just a pity that we often only recognize our true feelings after it's already too late.
You're back! Are all of you alright?
Ah, there she is.
Yeah. Many people from the Corps of 30 came over, and I just wrapped up everything with my dad. All I can do now is wait for their verdict. Huh? Dehya, you're looking quite down again.
Paimon will explain. A lot happened while we were gone.
Los ojos de Dungersa se desbordan de lágrimas conforme Paimon termina de contar la historia, supongo.
I just...
It's all right, my lady. You were hurt by all of this as well. Truth be told, I'm starting to feel a little guilty watching you cry like this.
But Dehya, your pain must be even worse. You shouldn't need to comfort me.
Hey, don't worry about me. If anything, this whole thing has finally shown me the difference between illusion and reality. My father probably thought that people could settle into new lives as long as they moved to a new environment. That thought has even crossed my mind a few times. It's like saying, what's wrong with adapting to a new life? However, there was always something deep within my mind that refused to accept it. This impulse brought me great turmoil, and even made me feel ashamed for turning my back on your father's kindness. But now that I consider it again, it all makes sense. The desert sands are a part of who I am, and I will never be able to lead a peaceful existence.
I understand how you feel.
That doesn't mean I won't be making any changes to my life, though. As an example, I'm now thinking about taking on some small odd jobs. It's just like Idrisi said. I also want to catch up to my father and become a character in his play. Even if the ending of the story may be childish and ridiculous, it won't really matter.
Isn't that neat, though? Oh, you'll be a whole new kind of mercenary, one that's not out for Mora. Why don't we go for a change of scenery once we finish eating? What about stopping by the Grand Bazaar again?
Right. You said you wanted to get a rug for your family.
We'll come along too.
Nos vendría bien hacer algo animado.
I can't thank you enough for taking care of me this entire time.
Stand with me.
Oh, this rug here is quite something. The craftsmanship is exquisite, and the fabric is also.
¿Por qué los que venden alfombras son niños?
Ah, here you are. Finally, I found you.
Tratar.
Hey! Aren't you that mercenary who bit his tongue? You can still talk? Wait, are you here to take revenge on us?
What are you talking about? Do I look like I could take you all to a fight? I just came here to give you something. I'll be on my way to give myself up to the core after this.
¿Entienden? Es que no puedo hablar muy bien. ¿De qué hablas, enana? Ni que fuera capaz de enfrentarme a ustedes. He venido a darles algo después. Me entregaré voluntariamente al regimiento. Entiendo. Ya, se los acepto. Está bien, ya.
Once I woke up, I hurried to the Khan al-Ahmar's camp, hoping to alert them to your presence. But when I got there, I found no one except the members who were still too injured to move.
Ah, so you probably got there after us.
Yeah, they told me that they had exacted their revenge, and everyone had turned themselves in to the authorities. Even that last camp was not going to last for much longer. I had joined the cause to repay an old favor from Kusela. Now that everyone's already turned themselves in, I might as well do the same. One of the injured members gave this box to me, and told me that it contained some of the old man's last possessions. Everything left in the camp will get confiscated, so I figured I should get this to you before the Corps could get their hands on it.
Thank you.
No worries. We are all just living our own truths. There's no need to comment or judge anyone for it.
So this box contains everything that Dia's father left behind. Huh. It feels lighter than expected.
Well, back in the day, the first thing he did with any Mora was spend it on things like drinks and meat. But let's see what's inside. What's this? It's just a bunch of junk. It kinda stinks.
Perhaps it's just been left unopened for too long.
A handwritten copy of a storybook. The paper's already yellowed, and it looks like it's about to fall apart. It was against the Academia's rules to possess books for personal use. If he was going to break that rule, he could have at least copied something useful.
That probably means this was really important to him.
And here are a few bags of children's snacks. The packaging's completely deteriorated.
Entiendo.
That's where the smell was coming from.
Did he get those for you?
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. Even when I was a child, I was never a fan of these kinds of snacks. He'd always say that he got them for me, but in the end, he always ate more than I ever did. Who even leaves snacks in a box like this anyway? Isn't that just common sense? Forget it. Let me see what else is in here. A razor, some buttons, some round iron tiles, a wooden toy puppet, a wool scarf, which from the looks of it probably belonged to a woman, and a hair clip? Why are these things here?
I'm suddenly feeling a little scared.
I'm sorry, my lady, but this is just the kind of man he was. He probably saw this box as some kind of personal trash heap and dumped any and everything in there. 2 empty liquor bottles. Tell me, you guys, are these the kinds of things that a normal person would leave behind?
Es más que raro.
Huh? There's something in the bottle!
Oh, you're right. All right, I got it out. It seems to be a piece of paper with some writing on it. The bottom part's all damaged from moisture, though. Let's hope the writing didn't smudge. I was suddenly seized with an urge to write a letter after finishing this bottle. I just folded it up and left it in the bottle, though.
De parte del padre,
Forgetting
parece.
about it, it won't really matter.
De parte del padre, parece. He sentido la repentina necesidad de escribir una carta tras terminarme esta botella, así que la dejaré aquí dentro y si me olvido, pues me he olvidado.
To Dehya.
Para Dehya.
It's a letter for me?
Puedes leerla tú sola si quieres.
It's all right. I'll just read it out. If he went to the trouble of writing a letter, there must have been some important things that he wanted to say. Or at least record down.
My condition's becoming worse and worse. Can't even walk without a cane anymore. much less go out and have fun. Guess I don't have many days left. If you're reading this letter, then I suppose I'm already long gone. You were adorable as a baby. Everyone loved you. And regardless of whether you were crying or laughing, everyone enjoyed having you in the group. But once you grew a bit older, you were no longer nearly as happy or cute. It's probably Idrisi's fault. He was never up to any good.
Can you believe this guy? He can point the finger at himself.
Anyway, back to the point. To summarize, I'm writing this so you would know not to feel sad for me, even if you end up finding out the truth. The reason being that I was never your father to begin with.
Ya. Vuelvo a decirlo. ¿Es que todo lo de Sumeru lo voy a adivinar o qué? Es que si el padre no conoce a la madre es porque es adoptada, ¿verdad? O sea, lógica común, porque una madre no puede tal vez no saber el padre, pero un padre sí tiene que saber quién es la madre de su hija, a no ser que sea adoptada. El caso es que yo ni siquiera soy tu padre.
Wait, what?
Surely, he must be joking, right?
I don't know.
I was quite formidable when I was young, and 100 times cooler than some so-called flame main. Really felt like the whole world was under my feet. With just a teeny tiny bit of effort, I felt I could rule over the entire desert. But as fate would have it, I went out into the desert for a drink one day and discovered a baby in the sands. It was you. You were just lying there, small and helpless. You were so tiny that if the wind blew for just a little while longer, you would have been buried forever. But your cries were so loud they made my head hurt. Now that I think of it, you really were a bundle of energy.
Sounds like he's serious.
I told Idrisi and the others that I had slipped up with a woman while out and about. None of them even doubted me.
Que había tenido un escarceo, o sea, como una especie de percance. Si entienden a lo que me refiero.
I'm sorry that I had to lie to them for so long, but I really had no other choice. I was their most esteemed leader, after all. It's not like I could just tell them that I suddenly wanted to play at being a father. At this rate, I'll puke up all the liquor I just drank from this bottle. Anyway, Dehya, you possess the kind of freedom and kindness that we could only dream of. As far as how you should live your life, that'll be up to you to decide.
Ella ni siquiera pertenecía a los de su banda. Claro.
That's the end of the letter. In the end, he was still thinking of me as a little child.
Eso no es algo malo.
I suppose, or I would have suffocated under the sand a long time ago.
He was a good father to you. The fact that he wasn't a blood relative doesn't change that.
Yeah. It's just a pity that we had to learn the truth of everything like this.
Do you already have some ideas about the decision that he wanted you to make?
I do. If he first found me alone in the sands, then I want to try my hand at finding the person who abandoned me. To tell them a story. That there once existed a childish and foolish jerk with a heart of gold.
¿En serio ahora vienes a decir eso, Dehya?
and that only under his care was I able to grow and mature into the person I am today.
If you end up finding any leads, can you share them with us? We go on adventures all the time. Maybe we'll be able to find some information for you.
Sure, I appreciate it. I wasn't expecting you to be so enthusiastic.
No quiero que todo su esfuerzo haya sido en vano.
I'll help too.
Thank you. All of you. Thank you so much. My life has certainly had its twists and turns, but I've always considered myself lucky. Because no matter where I've gone, I've always been surrounded by incredible kindness.
Curioso. Wow. Pues es que, a ver, yo ya me lo suponía. Desde el momento en que decía Dehya que pues no sabía quién era su madre y que su padre decía que no conocía a su madre. Es que eso es ilógico. Un padre sabe quién es su madre. Tal vez una madre no pueda saber quién es el padre de su hijo por situaciones. Si saben a lo que me refiero. Eso no lo voy a recoger porque va para lo semanal. Por situaciones. Vamos a ponerlo así. Pero ya que un padre desconozca quién es su madre, eso ya es bastante raro. No, es en la de resina que tengo que hacer. Ya me la esperaba esta de que Dehya haya sido adoptada. Pero hey, Oyovers. Eso no te da el derecho de hacer un personaje tan malo, Y Dehya chiquita. Dehya chiquita es un amor. Era bien, estaba bien bonita. Líneas ley, jefes. No hay nada más aquí, ¿no? Bueno, lo diario ya lo terminé. Y por esto del evento, yo creo que lo hacemos otro día. Que por cierto, ¿esto de aquí qué? Ya lo reclamé todo, ¿verdad? Oigan, poca cosa con lo de lo que está aquí de fondo, ¿Sí se acuerdan que yo dije que esta de aquí era Ginger? Y el de atrás era el de la mesa de sintetizar. Ya hemos visto este par juntos anteriormente. Y estos sí son pareja. Siguen poniéndolos como pareja. Siguen avanzando en su relación. Es interesante el trasfondo de estos dos de acá a fondo. Por cierto, ya tenemos aquí esta de aquí, ¿verdad? Da muy poca maestría elemental. Tras golpear a un enemigo con una habilidad elemental o tras causar una reacción elemental, el ataque aumenta en un 12% y la maestría elemental aumenta en 48 puntos durante 8 segundos. Ahora entiendo por qué da muy poca maestría elemental. Aquí ya me da más maestría elemental. No se puede acumular, no se puede. Y acá este de aquí también me da ataque, más ataque a partir del ataque básico. Así que está bien. Digamos que está bien. Y es siempre, ¿no? Porque no dice durante 8 segundos cada cuántos segundos. O sea, tiene un límite, un cooldown. No tiene cooldown esto de aquí. Durante 8 segundos. O sea que si vuelves a repetir esta acción de golpear a un enemigo con una habilidad elemental, vuelve a contar desde cero, ¿verdad? Puede ser. Puede ser. ¿Qué es esto? Para relajar las tetas. Y una coronita de los eventos. Pues ok. No ha estado mal la misión. No me quejo. El trasfondo de personaje. Como siempre en estas misiones, ¿no? Trasfondo de personaje. Me ha gustado. Pero igual siento que las misiones de esta versión han sido un poco cortas, ¿no? Aunque sí, lo que me ha fascinado de esta misión ha sido lo de la oleada. ¿Sí se acuerdan que dije dentro de, como en el cuadrilátero que le llamó Paimon, creo? Que vino una oleada de enemigos y justamente antes dije, espero que sea una oleada de enemigos. Y justamente era una oleada de enemigos. Pues eso. Me encantó eso. De estar repartiendo puñetazos a lo estúpido. Con la ulti. Bueno, ni tanto con la ulti, porque la ulti la metí ya a lo último y ya se acabó todo. Me hubiese gustado haber disfrutado más de esta sensación, ¿no? Ahorita vengo, deme un momento. Pero eso. Aún así ha estado bien la misión. Ha estado muy de acorde al personaje. El trasfondo, me refiero. Y me ha encantado. No es como la de Ayato, que simplemente fue Ayato aparecer un par de veces. Y el resto misiones de NPC, ¿sabes? La misión de Ayato sí fue bien mierda. A estas alturas creo que no habrá nada peor que la de la misión de Ayato. Pero venga, yo me voy retirando. Ya no me queda nada más por hacer. Ni diarias, ni semanales, ni cosas por el estilo. El día de mañana sí voy a estar farmeando por Dehya estos libros. Ahorita los mostraré, supongo. Que me faltan para... No, libros no. Materiales para el arma. Que me faltan. Que es para el día de mañana. Miércoles, sábado y domingo. Mañana estamos sábado, así que mañana voy a farmear esto. Tal vez ahorita fuera de stream me ponga a farmear esto de aquí, que me faltan. Incluso los morados me faltan. Y también, ya que estamos con la púa celestial, me faltará farmear también esto de aquí, que es para el día de mañana. Miércoles, sábado y domingo. Esto sí lo tengo todo completo, estos morados. Pero es para ponérsela a la Shogun, qué sé yo. Por mejorar la probabilidad de críticos en un 8% en general. No solamente a la definitiva. Y aumentar lo que sería el ataque básico. A diferencia, ¿saben? A nivel 90 esta da 510 y a nivel 90 esta de aquí da 674. Es mucho más. Así que supongo que sale mejor que ponerle la captura. Además que tiene recarga de energía, tiene daño con ataques normales y cargados. Tengo que ver si esto afecta también a la definitiva. Porque son de ataques normales de la definitiva, ¿no? No lo sé. Probablemente sí haga efecto. Pero venga. Ahora sí. Sin nada más que revelar para el día de mañana, yo me voy retirando incluso del juego. Porque tengo que hacer otra cosilla in real life. En fin. ¿Cómo que sigue reproduciéndose? Quítate tú. Por ahí. Dale pues, amiguitos. Ahí nos estaremos viendo en la próxima emisión del día de mañana. Ahora sí que lo prometo porque mañana sí estoy seguro que voy a farmear cosas para el arma de Dehya y cosas para el arma de la púa celestial. La otra arma la voy a dejar en el cajón por el momento porque no tengo ningún personaje a quien ponérselo, aunque probablemente la suba para hacer pruebas nada más. Pero lo dudo. Aún así, ahí nos estaremos viendo. Ahí se enterarán luego. Bonita tarde. Hasta otra. Bye bye.